you should be outside the office and enjoy life outside of business. You want to be able to recognize what overwhelms you throughout the day. Are you really focused on the easiest thing that's going to move the needle first before you're trying to stack up like 2 to 3 income streams at a time? Massage and facial yesterday. Pedicure, manicure, buff. Hey, grateful morning, everybody. It is April 7th, and so we are getting ready to go to school this morning. I am getting ready for my work day, and so just want to walk you through my morning routine. So this is a slow morning for me, ladies. If you know, you know. I am really paying attention to, as I get older and mature more, what my body should be doing during certain weeks of the month. Again, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. So I'll probably do some light movement in terms of maybe walking on the treadmill, maybe not, because today is like officially day 1.5. But having my detox little shot right here this morning. And then I'm also about to have some tea. So typically in my tea concoction, that's super simple. I usually do the sweet tangerine, positive energy. This one does have a little bit of caffeine, so I definitely don't take this in the evening. And then I do my organic honey. And then I drink alkaline water. So I usually heat it up either in the microwave or I heat it up in one of these things. But I think this is broke because it stays on until the water is gone. So I'm like, oh my God, it's evaporating all my water. So I'm probably gonna have to get another one because the purpose of getting it is so you can walk away from it and come back versus sitting here and watching it. And my son is over there watching cartoons. Sorry for the noise. So I do that, hot water, and then, lemon. So that's what I'm gonna make right now just to soothe my stomach, and then waiting for him to finish his breakfast so that way I can walk him to school. Our schedule varies. So let me go over here because I don't think it'll have no copyright situation, but just in case. All right. So typically what happens in my morning, because some people have asked, like, can you break down what it's like to have, let me sit on the stairs. Can you break down what it's like to have a 7 and 14-year-old, 2 different school districts? They don't ask me all these detailed questions, but people just want to know, like, how do I manage my mornings? Because I'm a morning person. So I wake up at 6, unless my body wakes up earlier. My body used to wake up a lot earlier, like at 4 or 5 o'clock. I ain't doing that no more. So my body wakes up automatically around 6, whether my alarm goes off or not, unless I had a super, super late night. My son, we wake him up between 7 and 7:10. And then typically my husband is the morning drop off at school person, but there are certain days of the week, like today, where my husband takes our eldest son to school 40 plus miles away from our house. And so when he does that, I need to make sure I can get our son to school clearly. So those are typically mornings that I don't work out unless my body has woke me up super early, because I'm trying, I'm not going to say I don't, but I am trying in this year, 2025, not to rush my mornings. And that's what I wanted to, if I could just slide in like a tip for yourself is, if you are a mom or a caregiver, or you work in the morning, whether it be at home or out the office, sometimes, in the office, sometimes we, for whatever reason, just be rushing for no reason. And your body needs to ease into the day. They do say, based off research, but some people are a little different, but most people do have their highest threshold of focus early in the morning as well. And so you don't want to waste off your morning by not even knowing what your Monday, your morning holds. So for example, the rundown of my morning is as follows. I'm going to drop off my son by 8 a.m. and then I'll get home literally at 8:03. So like walk across the street. So I'm going to drop him off at school. As soon as I get back, I'm more than likely going to make a shake because I'm not that hungry. I'm typically more hungry after I work out. Don't plan on walking on the treadmill unless something goes into my soul that just go ahead and walk in the living room, but I really don't feel like it. And that's okay, giving myself a break. I went to the gym 2 days in a row. So after that, I have a team meeting at 9:30 and I have a client at 10 and a client at 11, and that is it. However, I do need to do some things via email, but that also some things I can delegate out. So I need to respond to some brand collaboration emails. That is typically me creating the response to those emails, and then my team will keep up with the back and forth. We need to, with just all my team member, reach out to the nonprofit that we collaborate with to confirm if I'm going to go out there tomorrow. And then I'll also need to post on social media, because that's part of my business. That's part of marketing. And then if I have the bandwidth, I am at some point today going to sit down and plan out the rest of my content. I already have two more videos queued up technically for April. So technically I'm done with long form content. I have my video for the Millennial Social Worker Conference, Atlanta travel vlog coming out. I have another educational vlog coming out, and then I just published one today. And then I'm going to intermingle some videos that were published. I took them down. I keep going back and forth in terms of, do I want to put like my family Disney vlogs on here? But at the end of the day, I had intentionally made that 8-part series a behind the scenes of what my end of the year looks like, how I enjoy my time with my family. And, I get feedback from some people saying that's cool for them to see if they want to watch that kind of stuff, because it just shows them, you could be outside the office. You should be outside the office in your way and enjoy life outside of business. And so I had kept that in mind for you as an entrepreneur, if you are a service provider as well, to highlight that, you don't get time back. So I don't go to Disney World a lot. I go to Disneyland a lot. But outside of that, I'm going to be dropping those vlogs. I think I got 2 more. I'm going to be dropping those on Sundays, but I'm going to be dropping the educational vlogs. I don't know. The days may change, but I know for sure I like to drop the educational vlogs on the weekday. So I'm going to just map out on a calendar just to make sure that all my bases are covered, because on this Thursday, we do have a workshop, Bootcamp Day 1, and I need to be mentally shifted to my launch for the next 2 weeks. That's just what it's always been. When I'm in launch mode, I enjoy launches. Some people have a love-hate relationship with launches. Some people get burnt out at launches. I don't get burnt out. It's like a party to me. It's like a big ass classroom. So it's fun. So, all right, it is 7:41. So I need to get him. Avery, you done? Okay. It looks like he finished his bacon. So lunch is packed. About to make my tea so that can marinate while I'm gone. I'm about to take this shot and get a little bit of steps in while I walk him to school. All right, see y'all later. So I am back at the house. Per promise yesterday, I'm going to walk you through and actually swap out the screen and show you my Notion board so that you can see how I organize my week. I ate my son one of his little pieces of bacon because he didn't eat it. But I got me one of these snacks, Made Good. I like them because they have all of these free allergen things on there, and it just makes it safer for me to be able to eat granola and get a snack in when I'm not that hungry. And that's typically what I eat before I go to the gym. And so this one is Organic Bites chocolate chip. I got the big bag from Sam's Club, I think, and it had maple or cherries or something like that, and then or berries, and then it had this one. So this one's really good. I eat these or the bars. So let me pull up my actual Notion board. And I'm fairly new to Notion. I was using my project management system, Monday.com, which is where we track all of our team activities and such. However, I have to recognize how, and this is something that, again, just sneaking in the tip, You want to be able to recognize what overwhelms you throughout the day. And what overwhelms me is, even though I can assign the task, I don't like seeing all the alerts back and forth between different team members about the task being done. And so I may assign my video editor something in which he needs to contact me directly, but I told him, like, hey, if you have a specific question, kind of like text messaging, send me a message through Slack. If it's like a major thing I need to review from my team, then send me a message through Slack, right? Outside of that, do your thing. So I'm going to swap over. The voice may sound a little different because I'm not hooked up to a microphone. I'm upstairs in my living room. But I'm going to show you my Notion board and walk you through like the process. All right. Hey, so this is my Notion board. And so, full disclosure, I don't know how to create Notion boards from scratch outside of a basic checklist. I go to Notion's free template library and they have plenty to choose from. And so I do make my cover up here on Canva. You can actually just get um, the inches or whatnot. And then I believe you can probably also type in Notion header over on Canva and then play around with it. But I change the photos based on what I'm focused on for that month. So just to walk you through, April for me is my husband's birthday. It's also my mom's birthday as well. But me and my husband are going to spend some time, team no kids, for a weekend. So that's great. My goal, 7K, is for YouTube. I want to increase my community from 6,500 to 7,000. I want to focus on my health and feeling good and looking good in my body and my tights. And then we also have our 3-day boot camp plus our open enrollment period for 2 levels of business for therapists, social workers, and healers. And so, what I decided to do versus putting it just on my phone is I wanted to break it down in terms of what I would like to work on this month based on categories that I'm focusing on. And so, the first category is abundant home and family. So, let me make it a little bigger. So for abundant home and family, it has these sections over here, but that was because I had cloned this from another board. But I mainly just want to be able to checklist it off. Some items do not have a due date because I don't want to box myself into making myself have to do something by a certain date unless it does need to be done by a certain date. Again, this status column is here only because I didn't have this done column here. So we're just going to ignore that over here. So right here is my abundant task. Then I like to categorize things based on, what category of my life it falls in. And then if it does have a due date, what date. So in summary, what's going on for home, and things will get added as the month goes on, is that I scheduled my husband's birthday massage and facial. I scheduled us a couple's, I scheduled his pedicure, but I scheduled my nails as well, where we're going to do a couple's thing. So those 2 are checked off and on the calendar. I still need to make his dinner reservation so that we can figure out, or I can figure out, where I want to take him out to eat. This is something that he said he was going to do yesterday. And man, we've been working on cleaning out his stuff. So the fact that he said it, I was like, ooh, let's tag team and I'm going to do mine. So that's what we were clearly doing yesterday. So I was successfully able to clean out fully my tall dresser, my horizontal dresser, and I cleaned out my hanging clothes. And the only thing that is remaining is my shoes. I need to upgrade and do my real ID. So those are things I gave myself a deadline for, because there's some things we have to do online first, like make an appointment with our original birth certificate. I need to do something with my medical benefits. I need to start stacking up our Disney gift cards due to travel that's happening for the rest of the year. I prefer to invest into Disney gift cards for the amount of money that I know for sure we're going to spend, whether it be on like food, souvenirs, and things like that, because it does help me stay within a budget. And then I ultimately need to do the full vacation budget. There are things that are now available for us to purchase because we had to wait until the full spring started. So we're able to look at pricing right now for the days that we want to go to places. More will come in like future videos about travel. Now, the next section is business. So, with business, a lot of it has to do with my live event and launches. And so, like I already mentioned this, like I need to make sure that my YouTube content is planned out. So, I'm going to give myself a deadline of Wednesday this week. I need to update some of this stuff because we did expand what was a masterclass into a full 3-day boot camp. So I just need to update these things for my launch. I need to update my calendar for anybody who wants to interview for our program. If for whatever reason on the enrollment page, their questions were still not answered, but I'm pretty thorough where even when I open up Zoom calls, people usually don't hop on them. Certain things, again, internally in our community, we need to update. We need to check in with our current students to see who's going to renew into the following year. And then we also need to do something internally with our current clients to see if they want to upgrade to this next level program that we have open again. And then we are having an event in New York. And so I want to assign this to my team actually today, where I'm going to give her a budget and then we'll look at a theme. And then I want her to put together some stuff online that we could review in our next probably 2 or 3 meetings down the line, so I can go ahead and make those purchases. I prefer to get things done at least a month and a half before we especially go out of town, because New York is not close and I need to map out the luggage stuff. I also need to plan out my Instagram content. Instagram is kind of like more like backbone of what I do on my podcast and Instagram and YouTube. So right now I'm just going with a certain theme that I've been posting in April about, like, what is your 5% from your resume? You can pull and add a stream of income, and people are really vibing with that. So I'm going to continue with that, along with sharing like different streams of income you can have based off your expertise. And then I also need to record a brand deal video, 4 of them by tomorrow's. But I need to have it sent over to the company by Wednesday. Then for health, self-care, and fun, I have, again, my regular nail pedicure. Y'all need to make sure that you put this on your calendar. Like, put it on your calendar like it was a client, okay? Like, you are a client of yours. So got my hair appointment this week, got my facial schedule for next week. I'm supposed to go to Disneyland, actually with another group of therapists, but my mom's birthday shindig is also that weekend, and she's talking about now she want to go to a escape room. So I may have to reschedule this, but we'll see. Stuff for my son, and then me and my husband need to we need to make our dental appointments. And then I already did that. I needed to like figure out for meal prep so I can go grocery shopping. Did that on yesterday as well. And then for money, wealth, I need to go into the system and start my business trade line for Dr. TK, which is my mental health business. And then I need to just stay up to date with my trade line purchases every month or every other month for my other company. And then I need to pull our annual report so that I can start reviewing that for this year, 2025. And then I need to decide which card I'm going to pay off in full for personal and for business. So that is my general board. Of course, every day I have, specific things that I break down. Okay, so now that you've taken a look at my Notion board, let me know in the comment box down below, how can something like that help you get focused for the month? Do you like the Notion board? It is accessible on my phone. I can click a button and the list will expand on my phone, which is pretty nice. So I can add things as I go. Now, I want to set out a caution that I don't make this like a laundry list, to-do list. I make it where it is a lot of things on there, but these are things to keep me focused, where on every Sunday I can look at this list and say, okay, what do I want to tackle for this week? That way I'm not utilizing all of this brain space every single day in the morning when I should be hyper focused on my business, on my health, on my family, on things that could have just been done in one day. So I actually did this yesterday morning. So right now I'm going to get to my focus time, drink my tea, eat my little snack, because we do have a team meeting in about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I want to look at this list and see what I want to tackle right now. Hey, what's up, y'all? So I am in the office. I am getting prepared for my team Zoom meeting that starts now. And just showing you my little setup. I have my blanket, water. I do have a floor heater, even though it's going to be 80 degrees outside. It's fairly cold in this office because I'm on like the bottom floor of 3 stories. But I'll give you a sneak peek into our team meeting. I just need to bring up my Zoom. So my goal when we meet with our team is to really just talk about like the goals of the week, look at what everybody is working on, and yes, pretty much it. Like I don't meet for an hour. We actually use Loom to communicate throughout the week. Oh my God, I don't know. Have you heard anything from the nonprofit?
For Tuesday, that's the last I heard about Tuesday.
Like he has 6 people participating?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I can come Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great day, y'all. So as a recap, it is 11 o'clock. What I've done thus far is I had one Zoom live coaching session with one of my mastermind clients, and then we also had our team meeting. So in terms of what we were able to get done, me and my team member talked about the activities that we're going to do in New York, from landing to needing car transportation to and from the airport, talking about the organization of the attendees that are coming and an activity that we're going to do with them as well in terms of like notifying them and getting a final RSVP. And then we also talked about how to respond to some of our clients' questions as it relates to them filling out like an accountability form for us in our program. And then us being able to provide some type of coaching support, of course, through our private podcast feed. A private podcast feed is basically one that is not public. The only way you can get access to it is if you're in our program. And what we do is they get access to it for 12 months while they're in our program. And they can, pretty much at their own pace, submit their question. And then the way that we answer it is we keep their name anonymous because we find that some people just may not want to ask their question in front of a group of people. So we just figured out creative ways for people to still get coached without feeling like they are like hiding behind a thumbnail. So that was the first thing that I did. And then the second thing with the follow-up with the client, I just want to give y'all a sneak peek into what we did. And so I'm going to give you a short recap from my notes. And so we first talked about more so mindset around what's getting in her way of committing to the easiest stream of income to cater to. So if this is something that you're challenged with, for example, you have a one-on-one private practice, like solo private practice, you have like 2 to 3 other streams of income, maybe that you've tried out or that you want to try out. And let's just say the needle is not moving, you're not getting customers, you're not getting clients or whatnot. You really may want to go backward and ask yourself, are you doing too much? And then also, are you really focused on the easiest thing that's going to move the needle first before you're trying to stack up like 2 to 3 income streams at a time? So this is actually something that we are covering in our 3-day bootcamp, the Profit from Your Practice. Depending on when you're watching this video, if it is still happening, you definitely want to check the show notes and get signed up. It is a 3-day bootcamp where I'm going to talk about how I move from 60 hours a week plus to 60 hours or less hours a month, and what are the profitable streams of income that I added in order that became easier for me to move the needle in my business, whether it be leveraging my time, decreasing my time, being able to hire, making more money, having my ideal schedule, and all the things. And so, she's actually listening to something that I'm providing in the bootcamp because I encourage all of our clients to check out what we have going on, especially if they need more support beyond, our one-on-one time. So we came to the conclusion of what stream of income she's going to be focused on for the next quarter. And then I also gave her some tips on how to be more proficient with ChatGPT when it comes down to marketing, but still being able to see her voice in her marketing. We also talked about how to communicate through a marketing lens to her clientele, aka following up. Don't just get off a call with a client if they say, oh, this is not the right time. You want to ask more questions because you want to be able to walk away knowing that you got all the information that you could. And if it's a no, it's a no. Or is it a no because you simply did not ask the next question? Because some people just don't want to really tell you what the real issue is, but they will cover it up with a surface no. And it is your job to find out what the real no is. You don't push people. You're not aggressive. But if somebody needs a day, okay, well, if today's Thursday, for example, I'm available on Friday, tomorrow, to call you at 9, 10, or 11. What time works best for you? Versus, oh, well, I need to think about it. Okay, let me know when you're ready. Bye. That's not going to do anything, because then they have all this time in between to think about undoing what you just talked about. And then they're never going to call you back. And so the penny is in the follow-up. So it's time for me to hop on my 11 o'clock call with my next one-on-one client. So I'll talk to you in a minute. Hey, what's up, y'all? So as I get prepared to take a rest off camera and grab some lunch upstairs, I wanted to recap what we just did with another type of client, because I find that some therapists are asking me behind the scenes of what it looks like with like different businesses. And so the first business that I did a recap on, they had like coaching business, digital product, and then they also have what's called hyper intensives. And so hyper intensives are a way of you doing your therapy, getting someone to the finish line a lot faster. But it is not covered by your insurance per se. And so we were talking about the marketing strategies and consultations and what those could look like. This next client is actually two co-founders that are working on group practice. So some of the main key areas that we focused on is, what is the difference between hiring an intern and hiring a licensed professional in terms of expectations, onboarding, but really the juiciness comes in with, how are we going to make sure that you can meet the time capacity based on, people coming into the industry fairly early, like an intern. And I don't get me wrong, I love interns, but I also have found that by coaching therapists who have group practices for over 5 years now, this is the most underestimated area, whether somebody is an intern, currently graduated, just licensed, or even seasoned, is that sometimes we make the assumption that people should be at a certain level, especially if they're licensed. And remember, they have never worked in your agency, in your group practice before. And so we pointed them to a lot of resources that we have in our course portal. We talked about assessing their capacity to onboard certain types of clinicians at different levels. We also talked about the pre-interview screening process based on the level of the clinician as well. And I gave them some tips around what I have learned over the years with having my group practice, plus also coaching various therapists over the last 5+ years. And, we are also, meaning as a culture, as providers, what also is happening is individuals are entering the field, and there is a percentage of a culture within the culture that don't want to put in that work. So as long as you know that, you know what to weed out. And we need to weed out people who just want to come get paid and go home. Like, we are in a service-based industry. I'm not saying you got to burn yourself out, but you do have to want to learn how to work a system to be efficient with your job and things like that. And then lastly is they also have something else going on. So we talked about sales and marketing and how they can improve to move the needle more in sales for these next couple of weeks. And so that wraps up my day. Right now, my husband is texting me, asking me how my day is, because I am on my 1.5 day, as I said earlier. And so I'm starting to feel the drag. I also know that my gas tank will typically start depleting around now. Now, I will say I didn't eat a full breakfast. I didn't work out. When I work out on a regular morning, not on this type of week morning, I can go up until about 1 o'clock, and then I need a break from 1 to 3. And my breaks consist of not reading no personal development, listening to no podcast, unless I feel like it, but it better be a Disney podcast. And, or I will watch, like, I'm probably gonna go upstairs and watch Suits again. I'm in my habit of like watching the same series over and over again. My son is like, why you always want to watch like Cops or takeovers of the White House and all this stuff? And let me tell y'all the real reason. One, it's interesting. 2, you see something you didn't see last time, because when you binge watch, that's what happened. And then 3, to be real, it doesn't require any dang old mental effort. I don't have to think. I already know I think what's going to happen next if I can remember. And if I can't remember, it ain't like a boom, like, oh my gosh, right? And so I like in between sessions to do things that are not going to make me want to work again. So here's a quick tip before I go to lunch. Let's just say if I wanted to take a nap, I will not put on a video from one mommy. She's also a Disney vlogger, but she has another channel that focuses on like home, right? Like whether it's organizing a home, cleaning up after these kids, like those are the things that I enjoy doing sometimes. But when I know the house or something got to be clean, like I'm looking at a stack of paperwork that got to be shredded, right? I need to go through it because I cleaned up the rest of my office this weekend. But if I let that play on my TV and then I fall asleep and my subconscious mind is hearing this lady talk about like, clean with me. What happens is I can't go to sleep fully. And after literally 15 to 20 minutes, I get up and I start cleaning up. So I intentionally put on things that don't require me to do nothing. I do not watch travel vlogs when I need to rest my brain and be tired. I do not watch planning Disney World videos because I'll just make up some stuff and buy a damn ticket. That's just, what it is. I don't also watch things based on trips that I'm about to go on in the next couple months because I'm gonna be like, ooh, I didn't know that hotel existed. Maybe we should try that hotel. Maybe we should try that restaurant. I hope you're getting the flow. You really want to be mindful about what enters into the eye gate when your body should be resting. All right. So I'm about to respond back to my husband and then go upstairs. I don't know if I want to have like a chicken salad or do I want to have some leftover spaghetti with some garlic toast. That just sounds so good right now, probably because it's warm and the salad is warm chicken with cold salad, and I just don't want nothing cold right now. I actually want a hot chocolate specifically from Starbucks, but I'm going to wait until my son gets out of school or until my husband comes home, and I want to say, can you run and get me a soy hot chocolate? That would be my dream right now, but I want it later so I can like rest again and soothe my body. So, all right, I'll see y'all. I don't know if I'm going to see you for the rest of the day, but you for sure going with me tomorrow because I go out into the community. So, all right, see y'all tomorrow. Hey, what's up, y'all? So it is 3:06. I am back home. Put it down. Just picked up my son from school. And so I want to show y'all what I do with homework because if I'm about to pay for a system in my business, I'm about to get every single penny out of this thing. So we get our homework packet. And today I am... I cluster his homework together, kind of like business. And we have spelling words that they're tested on Fridays. They have 3 pages of math. I'm really hoping he did this math on the break because we kind of had him get ahead a little bit just to practice. And then he has sentences that he has to write to show punctuation, capital letters, and like also penmanship. And then he has to spell out his spelling words 3 times in box this week. Don't do that, please. He has to box the UR. So y'all, this is what I do so that he can do the sentences independently versus me like standing over him and watching them. So I literally do this. I take the sentences from right here and then I transfer them over here. So like, let's see, I'm gonna show y'all how I do this. Okay. So we got Anne's shirt is gold and black, period. All right. So I'm gonna clone that one. And I like to talk text. So Pat's skirt has stripes on it, period. Boom. See how easy that was, people? Parents. And then what I do, oh no, let me bring it back. What I do is I airdrop it. I download these as photos. I airdrop it, get your iPad. I airdrop it to his iPad. And that's all she wrote. And then I say, hey, I want you to write out the sentences, write them neat, first letter capital, end of sentence period, write neat, or we're going to start over. And the more and more we start over, the less time he has outside. Right, Avery?
Yes.
All right. And then we do the same thing with his spelling words where I write them down on the little square and I ask him to write them 3 times and he needs to make sure that he boxes. So with that activity, I actually have him do 1 and show me that he knows how to box the 2 letters that the teacher, I guess the sounds that they're working on. Like this week, for example, it's UR. Like fern, her, like her, I guess. I don't know how these kids be learning how to read these days. Hell, we just got words, you know what I'm saying? But we make it do what it do. So he already set up his little table over there. I just finished making his reheated canes in the air fryer over there. So I'm going to give him that while I finish typing up these words, and then he'll get to do the work, and then we can take a break. And what I've also been doing is like dividing up the work, because I just try to remember like what it was like at his age when I was doing homework. And I know the school was like way different, but I know I had to get all my homework done before I went outside. But I do realize like back then kids were like hella independent. Like I was down the street until the street lights came on. But like with these kids, I got to keep an eye, because you know it's just little kids, older kids where we stay at, and you watch kids. So watch kids. So we go outside with our kids around here. Okay. And when I say we, I mean like me and the neighbors. Everybody else would be letting their kids just like roam around, run around. We know a few parents. It's like the same 5 of us that be out there, and then it'd be just these kids running amok out of this joint. But let's go ahead and eat his second lunch after school, because they be hungry. And then let's get to this homework. So then I'm actually going to go outside and get my steps in. I'm feeling okay. Still feeling a little heavy. But I did drink a Celsius. So let me tell y'all which one I drink, because homework ain't for the weak. So let me see. Oh, here it is. So I drank the one, no fizz. They got a blue one like this at 7-Eleven. I got to go up there and cop those, but I don't be having time to go to 7-Eleven all the time. But this one right here, get your girl right. But I need to make sure that I drink it before 4 o'clock, or it will have me up at night. Bars. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all soon. Let me go ahead and get him prepared. Hey, what's up, y'all? So just wrapped up a workshop. You probably hear the air conditioner. It is hot today. It is definitely 80 degrees. We are definitely feeling the spring, but I am headed to the area where the juvenile hall is. And I'm gonna grab some lunch first. So I'll probably like stop somewhere, sit down, eat. I don't know if I want to do California Fish Grill or somewhere else today. But definitely need to eat before I go and take my time eating, because that's really important, especially when you are working in the community. And one of the reasons why I choose not to bring my lunch with me is just that I don't know when I'm going to want to have my lunch, and I don't want my food sitting out, because it's not like I have a portable refrigerator or something like that. So the workshop went really, really well. I had 3 participants come to the workshop. We did do the second half of independent living skills, and we were able to talk about like, you know, they didn't know a lot of these things, but like how to fill out properly a W-2 form, how to calculate for your taxes and things like that. And so really, really good conversation. We met for about an hour and a half. I'm holding it because I don't know why all of a sudden it's shaking. But I'm about to hop on the freeway. I will talk to y'all once I get more stable, because I don't want to sit here and hold this camera. So, all right, I'll talk to y'all in a minute to break it down.
I wanna be in your life until the night is over. I wanna hold you so tight, coming closer. It's been a hell of a ride, but every single moment you were there by my side.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So I am back. I had California fish grill. I had grilled salmon and brown rice and some zucchini bites. Right now I'm about to actually head over to the Juvenile facility. I asked them for a cup of ice because I totally forgot I didn't bring my cup, but hold on. Excuse me, cut that out now. But got my cup of ice, and I'm about to crack open this cool Celsius right here. So let's hear it. Ooh. So your girl need some energy, and I don't want to drink this when I leave the facility, because then I will be on a level of energy that I don't need to be on when I should get home and be relaxing, even though I'm probably gonna need it for the drive. But I'm about 10 minutes away from the facility, so I'm gonna take a swig of this and get to it. Now, crazy part is I'm simultaneously recording on the same gadget, so I'm taking clips from this and I'm sending over a compilation video of like a day in the life of a psychologist, where I'm taking high school kids behind the scenes of what it looks like at work. And it's pretty interesting because my day can literally look very different. And so that's one of the things I'm gonna talk about in the video. And I'm gonna do a voiceover. Man, this stuff is good. This green mango. It's very rare that I'm actually looking at it when I'm drinking it though. So that feels a little odd. Like, I'm like, oh, it's orange. And I don't know what color I thought it was gonna be. But here we are. So what I'm gonna do, just so I can get the drive in, I'm gonna put this back here in that cup holder, so that way I can put this here. I'm gonna look up how long it takes me to go to the facility with a little bit of some traffic. Now, also another quick hack, when I'm going to places over and over again, I do put it in my Google Maps and I save it as a destination, and I'll just put like work and then in parentheses put the name of the location. So yeah, it takes, it's following my face. It takes me approximately 11 minutes, and I am gonna get over there because I need to be inside by 2:45 so that I can use the restroom, check in, and then meet up with the gang interventionist. So at this particular facility, we are matched with a gang interventionist to be there to pretty much just make sure everything goes smooth and things like that. And at the long-term facility, we don't necessarily need somebody with us, but I like it being two people because we can offset the conversation and stuff like that. So I'm gonna chat with y'all when I get over there, but let me go ahead and get started with this 11-minute long drive. All right. All right, y'all, so real day in the life moment here. I am sitting in the parking lot playing shark bait because the facility does not allow us to park in the very small parking structure that they have. I mean, probation officers are also parking like out here too, but it's by a golf course, it's by apartments, and there is literally no parking unless I want to park around the corner down the street, which I'll park there if I need to, but it's a 15-minute hike. And so, uh-oh, look, lotion flinging everywhere. So I'm waiting for ideally somebody to come out. Dang, this lotion is crazy. Okay, there we go. It is 2:18 right now. I'm gonna wait until 2:35. Hopefully there's some movement. If not, I'm gonna have to find something. Now, I don't know what time the courts close, but I find that when I go in there at 3, there's nobody for real in there. And so I don't know where these people be hanging out at, to be honest, but I'm here. So let me actually start getting my stuff together. So I'm gonna show you, like, I don't take really much anything in there. And so I'm gonna take, I realize, anything that's meltable though. So like, I start eating these made good, allergy free like snacks. So these are the little mixed berry granola bites. So I'm gonna take those in there with me. I'm gonna take my lip gloss. Cannot take my wallet. So I'm gonna get my ID out and put that in there. So things that I have in my bag is wipes, lotion, so I go to the bathroom twice, when I go in and when I come out. Funny story, always have a pen with click, not a cap, because man, I used to work in the actual facilities years ago, and let's just say they didn't make anything a pipe. Okay, like it gets real around these streets. I take my lip gloss. This is from Bath and Body Works, Vanilla Mint Supreme. This is a new one I'm trying. But I take that in there. I was like, oh no, not my pen. You lost my face. Okay, there you go. All right, got my pen. So I'm actually I'm gonna leave this lip gloss in here. Need it plain and plain. All right, so I got my ID. So that all goes in the front part of my bag. See, people are starting to come out, so I got to figure out where they parking. And I hope I'm blocking this lady in so that, like, oh. So let me see. Oh, excuse me, are you leaving? Oh, okay. Thank you. We got a good spot, y'all. So let me walk right behind my car. All right, so I'm backing up. It's a nice truck. I'm trying to like get interested in what kind of next car I want. It's a GMC Humvee, not a Hummer, but it's like one of them boxy trucks. But let's see. All right. So she's gonna let me in hers. So I'm gonna take these mixed berries. Now, things that I cannot take that's in my bag. Clearly I'm not gonna take my camera, can't take my phones. So we'll take sanitizer. I'm just dropping everything. Cannot take, I don't need to use one, flosser. I actually can't take anything in here. So I'm just gonna leave this whole thing in here. All right, this is like my little bag. And let's see. So I'm gonna put all this stuff in the second bag right here. Back up some more so she can come out. And all this, I decided to bring a second bag this time because I'm like, I'll be having all these loose particles, and I also need to take my laptop out. So, all right, let me park. So I'm very much in the front, which is nice. In a bush. So it's 2:22. I'm making good timing. All right, so we have those things. And then I also got this big backpack. So I'm gonna take this out, and then honestly I'm taking a lot of this stuff that I don't need out. So we got like extra copies because when I was at the nonprofit I decided to say, you know what, let's do the smart thing and let's make a copy that I need for all the facilities for the next couple months, because I'm now down to like one workshop per month. And that way I could just like keep these in my home office, and then when we're ready to do the workshop, I could just like bring it from home. This is like horrible lighting, huh? But I'm gonna bring one for me, one for the gang interventionist, and then I'm gonna put this whole stack back. And y'all about to see me make content. Watch this. So look, I got my camera here. So let me do it again. All right, see? All right, so see your girl make content. So put that in the back. And then I don't even need all these folders, but I don't leave them in here because it has, you know, their information in here. I just need to see which ones I gotta grab. So I need that one for their certificates. I need this one for sheets of paper. So I'm just gonna keep all these in here. So all these are fine. And let me go ahead and put this, uh-oh, his name is showing. Put this in there. All right, so that's that. We can't take water. You know what? I'm gonna take the rest of this water right here, clear water bottle. I'm gonna put that on the side. Well, no, I'll put it inside so everything can be zipped up. And then I'm gonna put this laptop in the back. And, oh, here's my other pen. So I was looking for that. All right, so I'm gonna put the phone that I'm recording content on, this phone in there. I'm gonna keep all this stuff inside the car, and I'm pretty much done with this backpack. So again, recording content on 2. And zipping this up. Saying that I can't bring it in. Y'all really seeing me make content right now. This is crazy. All right, and that's it. So, oh, here's my lanyard. So, Barbie VIP, living a dream life. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this on here, okay? But I'm gonna snap it where I can put it on, and then my ID will go right here. So they do give us an ID, like an ID badge when we go in. We cannot lose it. And so I like to put mine on a lanyard. The only catch part is I don't know what happened to my last lanyard. I took my sweater off. I feel like it flinged somewhere in the car, and then I don't know what it did. So here we are. All right, so at any time I can do a story time on what it's like to work in the facility. Of course, not client cases or anything like that, but if you have questions, it has been a while, so the facilities have changed. But if you do want to know, you know, from career purposes, like what it was like, then just shoot me your question. If this is something that you would like to do in terms of streams of income, definitely shoot me your question. All right, I'll see y'all when I get off work. My whole 2 hours. Hey, what's up, y'all? So done with the workshop. It went really, really well. I'm definitely multitasking right now. My ETA home is currently 1 hour and 17 minutes. I pray that it stays exactly that, because once you get on the freeway, it could change, but we're not going to manifest that. The workshop went really well. I had about 5 young men that participated in the whole thing, and then 3 of them came at the very end. And what we talked about was, like I said, I sprinkled in a few topics in psychology. And so we talked about moral reasoning, like how do you make decisions? We started off with different parts of the brain and what it's in charge of. Then, to make it fun, I gave them a sample case study about like what parts, you know, this is the situation with this young woman, this is the situation with this young man. And I created or had real relatable case studies that would usually keep their attention. And then they had to tell me what parts of the brain were paired and why. And they actually liked the activity. And then the second part, we did like the color wheel personality test, where they just like identify what traits they have more of. And then we talked about, well, what's on the other side of the positive traits. And that was fun. And then we did some like stand-up activities with that. And then we talked about short-term, long-term memory and how that's impacted by substance use and blows to the head because if they've had fights and things like that, you know, all of that stuff can be impacted. And then the last part is we did the moral reasoning, and that got the conversations popping. Like we did it's called the Heinz dilemma. It was something that's super outdated and old, but it always brings like up good conversation, especially with young people who are in jail, because it's basically like, this is what happens. What should the main character do? Okay, the main character did it. Now what should happen? Okay, he went to jail. Should the judge sentence him? You know, and so I was letting them know that there's no right or wrong answer, but it was like we were standing up in a circle and like I was literally in the middle doing this, because one person was like, nah, he should go to jail. The other person was like, nah, he shouldn't. He did it for the wife. And then one person was like, is the wife loyal? And I'm like, is the wife loyal? Damn it, she got cancer. And they were like, but if she ain't loyal, I ain't breaking in to take the cure. You know, like it was a cool situation, but it always is a good conversation. And I actually just wish it was more kids over there. I call them kids, even though they're young people, but I call them kids because, you know, they learn a lot and their brain is still developing. So that's another reason why I chose this topic. So all in all, they really like the topic. I have to do this actually 2 more times in 2 other units, 1 more in May and then 1 more in June. And then I'm going to recycle back and we'll probably talk about continuing decision making. They did say that they liked relationships. So I'm going to see what kinds of like case studies I can bring in, like what would you do if, you know, to see their decision making skills and also their communication skills. But I like making stuff like this fun. That's really important because they will remember it, you know. So that wraps up my day today. I'm about to head home. I told my husband to, you know, tell my son they need to cook for me because he took my youngest son to the eye doctor. He does have to get his first pair of glasses, and apparently he's so excited. And I'm like, he's gonna be like his classmates. So his vision ain't that bad, but it's like one eye that I guess is a little blurry. So he's gonna get some glasses in the next few weeks. So he's excited about that. But yeah, I'm gonna go home. Hopefully they would have cooked the taco meat, but we may get home around the same. Well, no, they should beat me home. So I'm gonna go home, eat like some street tacos, and then I'm more than likely, since I did evening duty for the last couple of days, I'm gonna tell my husband, hey, you need to tap in because we are in a launch week, and he already knows what that means. But ultimately for me, that means that I need to buckle down. And because I do have a level of energy typically in the evening now, I want to use that time to usually record any audio podcasts I don't need a video for, and or delegate things off my plate, which I can do some of this stuff tomorrow too. But I do want to continue to process my thoughts. And I'll tell y'all a hack that I do when I'm driving too. But I want to process my thoughts around just making sure that the information that I'm going to share, at least in day 1 of the bootcamp on Thursday, is like put together. And so one of the things that I did after recording a car chit chat this morning is I will talk to ChatGPT, my outline, my thoughts. I will talk out the actual slides, and then I will say, can you format my slides? And I will give it instructions. That way, when things are on my brain, I can now simply go home. I'm gonna probably talk it out some more this evening, but I can simply go home and then look at the threaded content that I created per my conversation with ChatGPT. And then all I have to do is really organize my thoughts that are on the slides and organize it in a way that's going to be more receptive to the audience. But I really love like just talking to ChatGPT, literally like a team member sitting with me on Zoom and them taking notes. But I would also caution you to make sure that when you're using ChatGPT that you create your own intellectual property, and that you simply just don't go on there and say, hey, can you create me a PowerPoint that focuses on X? I mean, you can start there and let it help you brainstorm, but instead of doing that, could you ask it to ask you questions so that you can brainstorm better? That way it is your own authentic voice. So that's just a tip. So I'm about to hop on the freeway. I will talk to y'all tomorrow, if I do any work downstairs, I'll probably give you a recap of what I did, or I may do it in the morning, because it is also going to be dark, so the lighting isn't going to be as, you know, as bright as this, for example. So, all right, y'all, talk to you in a minute. Bye. Hey, grateful morning, everybody. So it is, what day is it? Wednesday, April 9th. So I am currently tired, sitting in the car, just ran through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A to get me a scramble bowl that I'm going to eat with hash browns, chicken, eggs, and cheese. And I got my Stanley cup of water. So I'm going to get my hair done, and then have my laptop. I'm going to be working in the community somewhere today. I'll find somewhere to park and pull up my laptop and do a one-on-one chat. We call it these like abundance match chats, to talk to therapists about what do they want to scale their business like for the upcoming 12 months. And then we'll tell them about our program. And if they're interested in our program, they can find out more information. The person that I'm talking to today, we actually had talked to them a year ago when we were actually having a live event, and they were all in. And then a live event came up where they couldn't attend. And so we were like, you know, we'll stay connected or whatever. So they actually followed back up and had the opportunity to get into one of our scale programs. And so I'm really, really excited about that. My appointment is at 8 o'clock, and that's pretty much all I got up for today. I mean, I got work to do, don't get me wrong. I'm working on the bootcamp content. I did a lot of it yesterday when I got home. I had to finalize like our travel arrangements for the summer. So that's all done. And yeah, I'm on a roll. I'm using my Notion board as like my checklist in terms of, you know, the things that I have planned for my week. And all in all, it's going pretty good. And so I'm really happy to be like super productive. My definition of productivity is like making sure that I'm not overstretching myself and doing stuff that can like wait until tomorrow. And I found myself kind of doing that yesterday, where I was like, oh, I can do this. And then I was like, no, shut the laptop, or like just rest, like just be. And so that's something that I would encourage you to do as well, is just allow yourself to be. So I'm about to be with this chicken bowl, and I'll talk to y'all after. Well, y'all probably see me get my hair done a little bit, but then, you know, we're going to let this hair come to life. It's something that's special that happened when we wash this hair that is just like bounty again.
Only been a few hours, but it feel like days.
Yes, Lord. Look at this. Look at this.
Only gone for a year, only go like once. Life move fast when you do what you want.
Learn how to do a sermon.
This time doing what I want. Hope you doing what you want. What we want.
My new bitch look like Halle Berry, but she don't love me, she too scary. My old bitch front like Jackie Brown. I wanna know if she too down. Will you be my leading lady? I want a contract, girl, no maybe.
She said she was creating an anchor braid. I don't know what that means. Just so you know. Like, okay.
All my killers don't tell. Shut down my mouth, cause I knew you off the shelf. Now my bitch is Chanel. Will you be my leading lady? I want a contract, girl, no maybe. In the meantime,
Hey y'all, so welcome to real life, okay? So the only way that I was able to get my hair done today is to do it at 8 o'clock this morning because of me and my husband's schedule for the rest of the week. So I am currently in a parking lot of Starbucks across the street from where I get my hair done. Yes, I'm about to connect to their internet. Yes, I have a VPN. If you don't know what a VPN is, it protects your information. But I am about to connect to Starbucks internet, and then I'm going to hop on a Zoom call and do an abundance chit chat with a therapist that wants help with their business. And so, yeah, this is real life in the trenches of being a psychologist. So yes, I wanted to make sure I was connected. So I got me a butter croissant. I'm starting to realize that I cannot do these drinks or like a hot chocolate with a sugary Danish or something like that. It just does not sit well on my stomach. And so I'm like, let me get something light, but I still have like an hour drive home. And I'm probably not going to get home until 11:30, probably 12:30. And then I'm going to continue working on my slides. I was actually working on my slides sitting actually at the hairdresser under the dryer because I was there for like 30 minutes. Now, the sucky part is I'm like next door. So I think I'm legit gonna have to like drive next door to Starbucks. So y'all give me a second. Hold on. Hey, what's up, everybody? So it is Thursday, April 10th. And so I think the last time you talked to me, we were just doing home stuff. And so had a great morning thus far. We had a boot camp this morning and it was so good. We also did a DTA Plat call, which is basically our Therapist Scale Academy. And we talked all things being a clinical supervisor. What are some things that needs to be in place when you onboard a clinical supervisee? And then also how this is getting people prepared for the documentation and back office processes of growing a group practice at some point. And so it was a very enriching conversation. Another thing that we did that I'm actually going to start talking about with our private practice clients is getting prepared for the summer months. Now, these are things that most of our clients know about already, but it's very interesting that when I mention certain things, they're like, oh yes, because it's been a year ago, right? And so there are certain things that we put in place or that you should be putting in place to prepare for the summer months, because for some of you, June may be a slow month, but you may not know it yet. So some things you do want to consider is what type of clientele do you serve? And sometimes people think like, oh, I'm serving kids, so it's not a big deal. And that's not true, because you're also serving adults that have kids. So that may be a time where they want to rest and reset. Maybe somebody's kids are graduating and maybe their graduation falls on the day of your therapy session. These are things that you want to bring up as you intimately get to know your clients, so that if they don't bring it up, you beat them to the punch, because the last thing you want to do is find out the week before, after you done scheduled your whole schedule for the month, that, people can't make it. And, it might be okay for one person to make it, but what if everybody can't make it? And that could happen. That has happened. And so that's what we talked about on that call. It was really fun. Just walked and picked up my son from school. It was a minimum day. So I'm going to spend the rest of my day doing a few things. And so one is I promised my son, well, didn't promise, but I told him, and he holds on to things. So we're going to pack for his sleepover this weekend. I need to actually reschedule the joys of parenting. I'm going to reschedule me and my husband's dinner for Saturday, which was cool. It's actually the day of his birthday anyway, because my son just told me he was really excited to go to the school dance on Friday. So I'm going to hit up my sister and say, I'm going to bring him over there after the school dance, if it's not too late, or early Saturday morning. But I'll probably just take him out there Friday night to beat the traffic, and it's dark, whatever. So at least he can go hang out with his friends at school, because he's never been to a school dance. He went to like a school pajama thing for Christmas, but it was like movie night or something like that. They brought their pajamas. They were able to bring like a sleeping bag. They were in like this auditorium arena and they put on like a Christmas movie, and that was pretty fun. I like their activities. So for this one, they're actually having a party. So I'm like, let me go ahead and go to the party. And so I'm like, all right, we'll just rearrange stuff. So I need to actually see and get on my other phone to make sure I can rearrange the reservations for dinner. But outside of that, I'm going to take a breaky break. I'm going to figure out what we're going to eat for lunch. I'm trying not to go buy lunch, but I don't think there's anything in there that I would want to actually eat. And I actually did not take out anything to cook. This always happens on Thursdays. Thursdays are the days where my youngest son gets out of school early. My husband goes to LA to go get our eldest son. His schedule is going to be long today because of sports. They're not going to get home until late anyway. So it kind of worked out where I don't think I am going to cook dinner, but I prefer not to buy food for lunch and for dinner. And I don't even think my son's so picky. I don't even think he has the regular things that he needs for a lunch, which will require me to Instacart or something. I need to figure this out. I need to figure my life out. It's 11:42, but it's time for my lunch because we all been up since 6 o'clock. So I will talk to y'all soon. I'm more than likely going to wrap up this vlog this weekend, but it's going to be like short clips where outside of maybe wrapping up today, because I don't have any more work to do. I told you I was going to take you out behind the scenes, is at this point, I'll just tell you what I'm going to do. I need to sit down and plan out my content for next week. I need to do some things related to summer travel, grocery shop, some more. And then outside of that is really just enjoying the weekend with my husband. And so I'll give y'all like clips as we go out of the video. But stay tuned. And I will talk to y'all later. All right. Hey, what's up, y'all? So just walked over to the park, decided to come outside. It did cool down a little bit. It's been like 80 degrees, but I actually don't know how hot it is right now. But the breeze has kicked in where we live at. So I want to say the words like perfect weather, but outside I got my book from my mentor, Enjoy Life. I typically read this or go through parts of it at least once a year. Got my gold cards and my little pen holder right here. And then of course my phones and stuff. And so got my Ultimate Celsius. This is the fizz free one. And then got my son some paper towels for sweat and water. But I decided to come outside because we went outside actually and no neighbors were outside. Then again, my son got home early today, so it was a minimum day. And typically we may go outside at 5:30, so I can guarantee you what's about to happen. He's gonna be here. He's gonna play for a little bit. And then I usually have to give him a pep talk when we go home and say, listen here, we ain't going outside again, because he actually needs to study for his test. But I'd prefer for him to do it later on, so that way it's like fresh in his mind versus doing it, going outside, then maybe playing some video games or something like that, and then everything being completely detached. So right now, it looks like they're playing tag with some other kids, and he was on the zip line, but that's what I got up for right now. So I am actually about to get to work, and I actually need to reread the feedback from this brand deal to look at what they need me to correct, and then I guess get to work. And I'm gonna say read if I can, and if it's too much that I need to do and need to debrief, I'm gonna try to get it done while I'm here, at least on my phone, and then go and fix the things that they need me to fix. The one thing I will say when doing video brand deals, where if somebody typically wants me to talk about being a psychologist, which a lot of things that I do like in interviews and stuff, it's really actually quite difficult to explain what I do that's outside the traditional scope of being a psychologist, working in so many settings in like 60 seconds. And that's ultimately what I'm about to share, is the feedback that I received. They want me to give, let's just say in like a 2-second little clip. I may have said one thing and they want me to explain it deeper. And I'm like, I'm looking at this feedback and the feedback is fine, but the time allotted for me to explain it in a way that their audience would understand it in a short period of time, we're gonna see. So that's all I gotta say. So, all right, y'all, I'm about to respond to these emails and watch him play and read a little bit and probably get us some steps too. Hey, what's up, y'all? So it is Friday. It is April 11th. So I am currently in the therapist cave. I started calling it that back in 2020. I call it the cave because it literally is on the bottom of the house of like a tri-level by the garage. It's extremely cold, even though the garage is like extremely hot. And it can be 80 degrees outside and your girl still got a blanket. I just don't have to put on the heater. But I am hopping on the laptop. I have a pretty busy morning today. So dropped my son off at school and I have a 9:10 11 and 12 o'clock client with 15 minutes in between. I think I mentioned this in the beginning where I really wanted to, not ideal, but like not have a break. I got breaks in between clients, but not like no 1 hour break, only because I want to be done with my work day totally by 2 o'clock so that I can take like a small little slight break and then go get my son. He is having a sleepover with his cousin this weekend. And then I am also going to, hang out with my husband, celebrate for the weekend. So this is my setup, by the way, in the office. Not a lot. So got my 30 ounces of water in my Stanley cup. Your girl feels like it's Christmas every day in this house, okay? Because I should have just kept up my trees. But have my morning tea right here. I do not like put up my Christmas mugs. I just drink out of them. And then I have my ultimate, goodie made goods. Ooh, I can't wait to get this finger fixed tomorrow. Like, only thing that kept me cool is I ain't been nowhere. Because outside of that, I would have been to the nail shop. And it's crazy because I think that my nail broke within the window of the 7 days. But for whatever reason, I never remember the 7-day rule. And 7-day rule is if your nail breaks, you can go back, kind of like if you go to the car wash and it rains tomorrow or it rains today kind of thing. I always forget that I have access to go back. And it's literally right around the corner from my house. As fast as I be driving to Starbucks, that's as fast as a nail shop is, like right next door. And for whatever reason, I just don't do it. So, so I need to remember that next time. This time, I'm not going to get the natural color. I mean, it's cute and all, but I'm going to go back to like my pink. One thing I do like about the natural, I don't know if you can see, is, because it's focused on my face, is when I do need a feel, you can't for real tell from a long, from far away. You can't tell. It just looks like it's my natural nails. I like this color. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna have to be in the seat to like see what I feel, but I'm feeling like I'm gonna go back pink. Outside of that, that's pretty much all I got. Ain't nothing extra exciting. I'm about to hop on this call literally in 5 minutes. So I have my computer set up. I go on Zoom. We do 45 minutes. I can give y'all a little bit of background in terms of like the type of clients that I'm working with today. So they're all mental health therapists. One of them is building out a live coaching program that at some point may become asynchronous, meaning they do it self-paced with some replays. Another client is working on digital downloads along with a digital product membership. Another client is working on building out her group practice and hiring her first 2 clinicians. And we're also going to talk about like structure, money, and things like that within my scope. I'm not a financial fiduciary. So I do make proper referrals to my clients to go seek out certain people so that they don't feel like they have no guidance when it comes down to going to the other side, money. And then my last client, he has already built out a coaching program. So we're just looking at expanding that. So that's pretty much what I got up for today. And then let me check my Slack. Oh, me and my team members do a check-in in the morning on Slack, and then we do a check-out in the evening. Slack is like a platform where you can send messages, voice notes, attachments. And I actually have a free account. I've never paid for Slack. From a team of 10 to a team of 3 or now a team of 4. And so we also have a very lean team right now. If that's something that you want to learn more about in terms of how to keep your team lean, then by all means, go ahead and comment below. But I got 3 minutes. So let me do a countdown, get prepared. Get my notepad up because I like to take notes as they're talking so that I can, formulate my thoughts with how I want to ask them more questions, give them some tips and, etc. So I will chat with y'all later because I'm also taking my son to a dance tonight. My mom going to tell him, don't be dancing with no girls. He was like, all right, I'll dance with my sister. She was like, what sister? He said, I don't know, but I want one. This boy is infatuated, boy. All right, talk to y'all later. Hey, what's up, y'all? So it is Friday, and Avery, you want to say something? Okay.
And then you open it, and you see.
Oh, script. All right, come on. I'm gonna take my shoes off.
Try up and give big thumbs up and then subscribe to our channel. Click the like button.
Hey, that's right. High five. Hey. You tiptoeing. He drinking Starbucks.
Now we got a surprise for you. Open it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
My favorite color, man.
Hey everybody, so we just got a massage and facial yesterday. Then today we got nails done, pedicure, manicure, buff with a mimosa, and I got my nails done. However, I'm gonna interview him and we're gonna see how was your massage?
Massage was good. I didn't get wrestled this time, so it was good.
He said he didn't get wrestled because somebody felt like they jumped on his back last time. How was your facial?
Facial was good.
Did you get extracted?
I did. I didn't know what it meant though, so I thought I was gonna get like
He thought he was gonna get taken.
Botox or something.
He thought he had Botox. And he thought he was gonna get extracted like the movie Taken.
Jesus said, "Do you want an extraction?" I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. Like just take out white hairs and black hairs. She just said that.
Hey, great day, y'all. So we are actually headed to the mall. So I'm gonna take y'all with us to dinner, but I'm gonna leave this camera in the car. But we decided to stop by South Coast Plaza in Orange County because then we're gonna head out to Irvine to go out to eat for dinner. And so we'll see what we can look at in the mall. We're gonna do a little prosperity and vision board shopping, and then I will do a recap and tell y'all how it was. Hey, what's up, y'all? So it is Sunday. It is April 13th. We are actually headed to brunch, soul food. We're going to do some business planning, some lifestyle planning, and then we're going to get some soul food for the brunch, and then we're going to go pick up my son and wrap up this vloggy vlog. And so if you are new here, my name is Dr. TK. I am all about designing a life first business, which means that you can have a profitable business, an abundant business, but that does not mean that you cannot have an abundant life. And so if you are new here, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like this video if you like lifestyle vlogs like this. And then I also do a lot of workshops, whether they be live stream or tutorials. And so check out all of that stuff. I have a lot of playlists, lined up as well, but let's go ahead and wrap up this Sunday.
I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. You Usually I don't do this often, but since recruiting isn't an option, due to unusual rain and thunder, baby I wonder, would you just put your sweats on for me? Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you